Pose.
What's up, you guys, and welcome to Sith Happens, Star Wars podcast. I am Eric the Dadalorian, and thank you guys for joining us for another Skeleton Crew episode 5 breakdown. Now, I am joined, as always, by my greatest of friends, Anthony, otherwise known as I am.NotACommittee on Instagram. How you doing, brother?
Yo, what's up,
Doing pretty well, man?
Doing great. Fantastic. Want to do a quick shout out first to yourself for these headphones, and our boy Matty Ice for this here microphone for Christmas here. So thank you guys so much.
We had to get you on the hookup for the pro podcasting equipment.
Heck yeah, well, I'm happy to be on your level. Unfortunately, Matthew is not on our level tonight, but we have a special guest tonight.
Yes, we do. Everyone, please welcome the guy you probably don't recognize. His name is Ari, also known on Instagram as Ari's Lego Legends and More. How are you doing, man?
I am great. I am thrilled to be here. I am the brother of your regular host. I am not a committee over there, and I have been jonesing.
Crazy. It's almost like we've said that on the podcast a million times.
Yes, you may have heard of me.
My brother.
If there's ever talking about somebody who's negative, it's me.
Yeah, no, we're stoked, dude. I'll tell you what. So, firstly, I'm stoked to have you on because this is the first time you and I have ever actually talked. But yes. Matt and Anthony have talked about you so much, and honestly, dude, I've heard nothing but terrible things. So, but no.
Dadalorian for nothing. He's got
but anyways, but no, dude, we're stoked to have you on, man. So before we really get into this week's Skeleton Crew episode breakdown, just tell us briefly kind of like what you do on your social media page, like kind of like what do you do with it and everything like that.
I'm a little bit of all fields of nerd here. Very into Star Wars, and Star Wars Lego specifically is my biggest thing. I also, the Legends part comes from the Marvel Legends. You've got the little Rex Y-Wing. Rex is at my work desk. He's always there with fives protecting me.
Good choice.
Yeah, but the Marvel Legends, I've got a Lego City next to me most of the time. So I really fall into all areas of nerd here.
I like it, man. I think that pretty much describes all of us, because if you ever look at the text thread between me, Matt, and Ant, I think it's pretty consistent of like Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. So
yeah, I mean, we don't draw a line at Star Wars, that's for sure. And one thing I really like about you, Ari, having come into this hobby is you kind of opened my eyes to doing some crossover stuff that we've done, which has been fun. So I was always very much, it has to be Star Wars if it's going on my Instagram page, but I have gotten to a point where his Marvel's Legends come into play. So it's been
little tease, there's going to be a couple coming in here. We did some shots tonight, crossover shots.
Yes, very excited about it.
Yes, definitely, guys. And so we are going to get into it now with our episode 5 breakdown for Skeleton Crew, which I am stoked about. So for everybody joining, listening, or watching right now, this is going to be your spoiler warning. Got to get that out there because, it's been a couple of days now. It's Thursday. Episode was on Christmas Eve, so that's why we're a couple days late. And I particularly having to make sure Christmas went off without a hitch for the kiddos. And then guys, so I'm just gonna tell you right now, right off of the get-go, I am once again blown away by the show.
Yes,
like just once again blown away. Every single week this show has like excited me and made me happy to be a Star Wars fan. Like I can't, like, this show is very, very quickly becoming one of the best Star Wars shows in my opinion. Like, I know that's like a very bold statement, but very quickly becoming it.
Pretty accurate. I hear a lot of positive reactions from it. And what I also, for me in particular, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not seeing a ton of, or very much at all, negative like we did with Acolyte. Now, I will admit that, as you both know, I was very fond of the Acolyte, and so I might have been a little passionate about kind of finding that so I could try to debunk it. But I'm not seeing a lot of that on the internet here. And I've seen a big reaction from
a little bit here
I
and there.
talk Star Wars to everyone.
I
So
had
if I see
one.
like a, go ahead.
I had one thing I saw, and I've seen it a couple of times, and it's really bothering me. And it's people referring to Fern as the annoying girl, and she is my favorite character on the
She's
show.
awesome.
And I'm just
She's
like,
awesome.
you guys are wrong. Um,
Oh no, where's Neil?
she's the best.
I wore Neil at the gym today, so he's dirty right now.
Fair. Neil had to go to the wash. No, but I think that's a great point, and we all like Neil over here.
Oh hell yeah!
But Fern is a great one. I mean, and what we talked about last week is that it continues to show in this episode in particular, I think, is the character development with the kids.
Oh my God,
is
yes.
really good. Not only are they doing kind of spotlights on each of them throughout, but it's kind of like one for the episode, it almost feels like.
Yeah.
And the other thing I really like about that is that I don't know. I really hope I don't see anyone say anything poor about their acting, because I feel like it's been freaking awesome.
I
Right?
think they
And their
have
kids.
absolutely killed it.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine your 10-year-old doing Wim's role,
Yeah.
I can't. Sorry about. I really like that they're doing different groupings too, because like after the first couple episodes, you're like, okay, we're gonna see a bunch of Wim and Neil, and we're gonna see a bunch of Fern and Geordie LaForge, but now we've got them mixing it up multiple episodes in a row, and it's fun to see them get to have a different play on each other.
Yeah. And
Agreed.
honestly, I think from there we can just go straight into breaking down this episode scene by scene, guys. So firstly, the opening going back to the parents on Ad Atten. I was super stoked to see this because it kind of has left it a little bit mysterious as far as like what's going on there. And we do start seeing this, that they, like the supervisor, so to say, they're like, he's not going to do anything. And it's kind of, I think, what everybody knew off the get-go, that this was just going to get brushed under the rug type of thing. And I'm happy to see the parents, especially Fern's mother, kind of like really like making this happen. Like they're throwing caution to the wind, and they're gonna find the kids. Like Wim's dad particularly is quickly turning into a real badass, honestly.
And I think sometimes you got to get a little bit shook to really realize how much you care about something, and that definitely happened when his son flew off in a spaceship.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Ari, you and I are both parents. Ari, so I met Anthony, but Ari, do you?
Well, we all are. We are.
Okay,
yes,
I was
I've
gonna
got
say
one of them's here with me right now.
So then, in that case, we all three of us are parents, and we all understand. Like, imagine that as a parent. Like, there is nothing on this earth that would stop me from finding my freaking kids.
Yeah.
Like, nothing. And I like that they're showing that, where it's like these parents are like, they're moving
Breaking the rules.
earth to, yes, breaking the rules and
they're
moving earth
doing
to
it
go
with
find
humor.
these kids. And honestly, Fern's mother particularly kind of having that higher role where she's like, we can't do this, and then like, yeah, whatever, let's just do this.
Yeah, but
like
she
that.
has a little bit of like hesitation, and then like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I just love like the little, even all the little, just everything technical about the show is fantastic. Like the little
Absolutely.
trade off of the device to
The little exchange
pass
between the
through.
droid and Wim's dad was hilarious.
Oh god, that was good.
I thought they
at
were
the
gonna
same
have that exchange, and he was gonna show one hand, put it behind his back, show the other hand, and the droid's just like, okay, and then the droid's
Yeah,
like,
same.
nope, show me both hands, sir. I was hoping
like,
there was gonna be
dang.
like, I was hoping there was gonna be something funny, funnier there, but it was still a good little exchange. So
Yeah, absolutely. Love some good
anyway.
droid humor.
yes, there's been a lot of that in this show actually, and
Yeah,
I'm really loving
like
it.
that.
The battle droid, did we win, is still the funniest thing in Star Wars, in my opinion. Just putting that out there. But and now we see the kids on what we know now is the Onyx Cinder. We kind of knew it. We kind of know that already because I think they had released the name of it with the, or you probably know this with the Lego. But getting onto this planet where the previous captain hid his lair, which I can't remember the name of it. This was just a
Skull Mountain. That's what we know.
Skull Mountain was the name of it, but I can't remember the name of it. And it basically had turned into this pleasure island, so to say, hence the no kids and the talk of concubines and stuff. And like Wim going, "What's a concubine?" And I was just laughing because I'm like, "Oh, here, are we gonna have this conversation now?" So it was it was a good exchange at the beginning there. I thought it was really funny, and I loved the disguises they did because it just like, we've talked Goonies this whole time, right? That right there felt like the Little Rascals. Like it was freaking hilarious.
Really when they even mentioned like your wise ones or whatever, they're like, "We're kids."
It was hilarious. Like, and then like friggin' Jaw just tossing credits to these people. Like, yeah, just. It was
really confident or just has a problem. I don't know. Judd is something else.
And then we have the run-in after they get into the reception of the place, whatever you want to call it. He has the run-in with the bounty hunter who he had some previous issues with. I found out today that actress has actually also voiced Merida on Brave in Disney.
Really?
It sounded her voice sounded super familiar, and I think that like after finding out today, that was why. Brave. So, but yeah, so
with her, I did immediately Wikipediaing, trying to figure out if she was a Cage or Umbaran, and it's not distinct. The species are very similar. Cage and Umbarans are very important within the High Republic, which we'll be talking about a little bit later because I can't not. But I was fascinated to figure out if she was, but it was not listed yet. So that's my trivia for the episode.
Fair enough. And I
got
so
kind
she
of
makes
like Aura Singh vibes.
A little bit, yeah. That's kind of what I thought too.
Probably
at the
because
beginning.
she had pale skin. Honestly, that's it. But I thought it was cool. I don't know.
Yeah, 100%, man. But like I think everybody knew right off the get go she was going to make that call to Captain Brutus. So we saw that coming right after the meeting, and that's why everything's hurrying up and going along. And when he sends in the pirate team, led by none other than, I can't remember the actor's name, so you have to excuse me, but the guy who played Urkel. And honestly, dude, he killed his pirate character in this show.
Yeah, he did. I was
like,
just telling
acting-wise?
that's who he was.
Jaleel White.
Yeah. So yeah, he just did great as his character in this show. Like he only had a couple of scenes, but there were ones where like it was a very memorable character to see and everything like that. And he also killed it because what happens later on, which we'll talk about.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yes, unfortunately.
They should have snuck in at least one. Did I do that?
Yeah. But anyways, firstly, and I will say this too about what we got out of the scenes where they were on this the spa retreat or whatever. I was really digging how they brought the banking clan into it because we really had not seen anything about them since the fall of the CIS, really, in the after the Clone Wars and everything like that. And it was one of those things where I always kind of thought that they would, being the finance experts that they are, they would get involved with the Empire, or in this case going into the New Republic era. Like they aren't really, they're about finance. It's really not a which faction it is, so to say. And I think they went with CIS initially because that's where they saw the best financial opportunity, so to say. But I thought it was cool to see them bring the banking clan back into this and everything.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was neat, and just again seeing different aliens and the variety of characters in this is
100%,
ridiculously cool and well done too. Again, movie quality. Like we are not talking like some sloppy done. When I first saw that creature coming later, I was just like, please Nope. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was weird.
Yeah,
But it was
and
awesome.
we
My
gotta
note is just, what the fuck?
yeah, and we gotta talk about that because in this, so when they get down to where they can find the captain's lair, we get this giant creature, which I have no idea what this is. The closest thing I got was was that thing in. I got the vibes of that thing from Rogue One. If you guys
Yes,
remember what I'm talking.
Borgullet.
Yes, Borgullet.
Oh yeah, the
And
Borgullet.
so Borgullet didn't seem like quite as sentient of a being as this was. And
Hmm.
honestly, they had great exchange. Like the alien had great exchange with the kids. Like I told them I helped, and they tell me a story. Like it was just really cool. Like the way that they did this character essentially. Like we know nothing about it really at this point. I just thought it was really cool the way that they introduced this new species.
Yes.
And they
And
still
if we
have the
never
kids
see him
acting like
again,
kids.
that's fine. It's kind of like that little fellow in Mando season 3 that you see down in the mines of Mandalore there. That was kind of like Grievous, like some people said a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Or,
yes.
like just a
Very
cool
much so.
little
In the Walker droid thing.
yeah, that guy. But
Yeah.
just a cool little character that they throw in there. Give me a Black Series, please, Hasbro. Are you listening?
That'd be a big ass Black Series.
Yeah, and I want the mud pit and everything.
Listen, you might get it in TVC, but you're pushing it with Black Series.
I know.
But yeah, when they get down into the captain's lair, I mean, I immediately like as they get through that hole that the creature makes, immediately it is Goonies vibes, man. It's like when in Goonies they're trying to go find the ship in the cove and everything like that. The booby traps, the skeletons all over the place and everything like that. And I mean, we've said it from the beginning. This has absolute Goonie vibes, and it just was explosive in this episode. And I love the way they did it. Because they gave it booby trap vibes of like pirates, but they made it Star Wars. Lasers that decapitate.
Right. Exactly.
Now,
And go ahead, Ari.
Anthony, I know that you and I have similar feelings when it comes to Goonies, but it is a Spielberg project, and it to me that scene once they're in the lair was Raiders of the Lost Ark opening scene.
oh
yes.
yeah, for sure.
That was where my mind went straight to, because my one-time viewing of the Goonies has not left the impression on me that you want, Matt, or you're not Matt, sorry, Eric.
Listen, it is
No,
what it
it's-
is.
Yeah, we just don't love the Goonies. Like a lot of people just somehow just love it, and I'm like, for someone who loves movies, I do not love the Goonies. But
Hey, listen,
that's okay.
to each their own.
Fine. But the vibe apparently I do love because I love Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has me ready to watch the Goonies.
I know. Maybe I should give it another try.
You might need to. Honestly, when they got down into the layer, so firstly the acid pit, really cool idea. I like the way they did that, and the riddle on the roof, super cool. And about the thing that we treasure most, and they had to throw the data read into the acid pit to get it to open up and everything like that. I love the riddles,
and-
the riddles behind it.
I
essentially.
love that scene as well, and it's one of those scenes that's just like, don't overthink it, just take it for what it was, because it was awesome, and that's just leave it at that. We don't need to bring science into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when they get into the captain's treasure lair, so firstly, it was like you said, total Raiders vibe out of that whole thing there.
That's a great
And-
analogy.
And another vibe I got of it, especially too, because of the way Jod was like, "Yeah, don't touch everything's booby trapped."
Oh yeah.
Was a lot like the treasure lair in Aladdin, if you remember that. Don't touch anything but this one object. And I mean, firstly, the way that the pirates go out after they seal up the door and everything, totally freaking brutal.
Yeah.
Totally freaking brutal.
Was that his
And
first act as captain?
I don't think he was captain yet at that point. And I gotta
Oh,
say,
he just got access to the computer.
I think so, yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
And I gotta say, the whole, I know we talked about it a little bit in text messages. His little kind of like taking over, like kind of becoming the bad guy essentially at this point. It's still one of those things where like I don't want him. I hope he doesn't really become like a bad guy. I hope this is just like, I don't know. I hope at some point he flips around and helps the kids and everything like that. But
See,
go ahead.
here's the thing: is that he is a a pirate. I mean,
No, he is 100%.
He's at the very least, he's a Star Wars pirate, and just because he has done some good deeds so far, and he might do a bad deed, doesn't it doesn't mean that he's all of a sudden this like bad guy. I think he's just a pirate, and pirates look out for number one, and number one's looking for the treasure. The kids are going to help him get there, so ultimately he's not going to hurt him. Like the whole hostage situation, we all know he was not going to kill her.
Yeah.
So I think that he's just a pirate. He's not good. He's not bad. He's just doing what's advantageous to him at that time to get what he wants.
Yeah. And we had Wim almost had his moment.
Oh my God, I died.
Let me tell you,
went out of
Ari,
my mouth with laughter.
let me tell you, Ari, I messaged Ant and Matt after that happened, and I was like, that's one of those moments when you're like watching something where you cringe so freaking bad that you like want to turn the TV off. Because I was like, oh man, and like I thought the saber looked weird. I was like, I don't know, something's kind of off. And then he freaking ignites it and almost takes his foot off. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm embarrassed for you. Because he was about to have a bad moment, man. Like he like gnarly like Jedi intro moment, and then it just almost takes his foot off, and it was God, was it hilarious? But holy shit, did I cringe like a son of a bitch during that? Oh my God! And I'll tell you what, the way they planned this in the show and everything, fantastic, because I did not see that coming at freaking all. Like I was like, oh, like he's everything was
He's gonna have a moment.
He's gonna have his moment. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he freaking ignites it and almost takes his foot off, I'm just like, oh no.
And the way it just bounces across the room too, as it's like, what's the opposite of igniting? De-igniting?
D-tracks.
Anyways,
Something like that.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As it's going out. It was just really well done indeed. And the whole time with the lightsaber, it's always like, I'm just thinking to myself, it's not a matter of if Jod will get the lightsaber, it is when.
Yeah.
And how is he going to? So I really liked how that happened.
Yeah, 100%.
The way they did it, like after everybody left, he just kind of looks back, whoosh, swoops it up, and scene. Like that to me is a phenomenal ending of the
Absolutely.
show.
The way they ended this episode was knocked out of the park. So when he told SM-33 to take them prisoner, I'm like, oh my, man, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And then they take that trap door out of there. I'm like, okay, smart. I like this. It really gives us a good start to next episode. And then when Jod picks up the lightsaber using the Force, and I'm just like, that was a badass ending. Like they could not have ended it better.
Agreed. I'm really curious to hear Matt's take on the ending when we have him next for this one. I haven't really talked to him much about it, so I really don't know. But
he's busy soaking up sun in the Bahamas, man.
Yeah.
For me with this,
Hey, we're in the
one thing I've talked to about with both Anthony and Matt is I really enjoy this show as the experience I get to have watching it with my kids. I more am enjoying their reactions to the show than the show itself almost.
Yeah.
And one thing that this ending has me really thinking about is throughout the show, and especially all of this episode, we see the kids as the audience proxy a lot. Like the specific line of you don't appreciate how important this is like, of course the kids don't appreciate how important this is. They're kids, and my kids don't understand how important finding this stuff is. And it's just like perfect. And now the kids aren't with him anymore. And now it's like, how is it gonna keep doing that same thing where they're the audience proxy throughout this? And it has me really fascinated storytelling wise.
Yeah, no, that's the way they've told this story so far is absolutely amazing. Could not be happier with it.
It all flows really well. It doesn't seem choppy. Like I know one of you and Matt's things with Acolyte was kind of the flow of the episodes, and I'm not going to disagree that there was a little bit of feng shui that could have been addressed, but I don't have that at all with this. Like not in the slightest. And I said it for the last couple episodes, or maybe the first couple. Maybe I haven't said it in a couple, but I will say again, There is nothing about this episode I did not like. There's
Yeah.
nothing at all that I'm like left like, oh, I wish I'm good. This was
Yep.
top notch Star Wars storytelling.
And with that, I think we can get into our episode ratings for this, which, Ari, I'm sure you know by now, we always give a 1 to 10 rating on this. And seeing as you are our guest tonight, why don't you give us your rating first?
All right.
Wow.
No pressure. Just
No
the whole
pressure.
internet watching.
There's a lot of pressure here, though.
All of my friends on the Instagram are going to see me give this a 7.5. I thought the beginning was out of the park fantastic with the parents. The ending was out of the park fantastic with the kids and the fight with Jod. And there was just a lot of stuff in the middle that didn't do a lot for me. But I really thought about this, and I couldn't go higher, but I could not go lower than a 7.5 because the bookends are so well bookended for me that even if the middle didn't do anything for me, the rest of the episode was great.
No, hey, listen, man, I won't knock it. You know, we all, that is one thing on this podcast. We are all entitled to our opinions. And you know what? I mean, I do agree with a lot of that. So,
yeah. And what I could see just looking at you, which makes me happy, is like 7.5 to you. You loved it. You enjoyed it. But for those reasons, that's why you're there.
No.
But there, like, I feel like, it's not a bad rating.
No. And you know that things I love do not get great reviews. I went through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe and graded them. And not a single movie got 100%, even though I love approximately 75% of them. So
it's a lot of percentages.
Anthony, what do you think? What's your rating?
Well. I told Ari via text before he watched it, I was like, I'm not going to give too much away. 9.5. I'm back up to a 9.5. I loved it. Like I said, absolutely nothing about this episode I didn't enjoy, and most of it, again, I either had a smile across my face or a little bit of edge of the seat moment. I think for me, the take back over as captain for Jod and that entire scene that we just discussed was so phenomenal. I mean, so well
Absolutely.
done. Even when they're split up and they're on their way and they're, taking out the little soldiers, I'll call them, on that planet, it's just like, what? I loved it. So, I'm going 9.5.
And I am actually going the exact same as you. I think this is my highest rating yet for Skeleton Crew.
I think it is.
This one just I absolutely loved it. So straight from the get go with the scene with the parents, loved it. I loved the humor we got when they were on the planet, and then even like the whole delving into the Skull Mountain and everything like that. I just loved everything about this. The only reason I am not giving this a 10 is I think I'm still gonna get another episode that will be a 10. Otherwise, I think this would be a 10.
Even more.
Yes, and
I really like that for how you rate things. By the way, Eric, that is I love that you know that there's going to be something you like more. So right now you're giving it the highest you possibly can.
Yeah, like
I love that.
9.5 is the highest I've gone. I don't think I've gone below an 8 on any episode. 9.5, and honestly, this might get revisited as a 10 depending on how the other episodes go. But with 5 episodes in, only 3 left, this definitely was the top of these so far for me, honestly. So, but anyways, good episode all around. We all had really great reviews for it. Not too many things many of us didn't like. So.
Yeah, and I will say, if I do have questions, like, they're intriguing questions that I'm excited to learn more about. Like, just, I just really am excited to learn more about how the families move forward, and also Jod and, his background. Like, another thing I will say, I know we want to move on here, but we learned that he has yet another name,
another alias,
in his collection. So it's like, I know in the canon version, the comics where we have Crimson Jack, there is speculation on, is that a name that is passed on, or is that an individual? So just because he calls, one person calls him Crimson
Yes.
Jack, potentially maybe, he isn't this Crimson Jack that we've seen in the comics.
And we learned the newest name he took for himself this episode. Professor what's his name?
Yep,
Professor
exactly.
Gorlox, I think it was, or something like
Gorlock.
that.
You don't look like no Gorlox.
But yeah, honestly, great episode. Can't wait for next week. So,
Yeah.
moving on though, we get into some of our favorite parts of this show that we do here, and that's our collector's corner. Now, we're gonna let our guest go first. I already know what he's showing, and it's gonna make all of the rest of us look like fools. So, Ari, why don't you just go ahead and dazzle
Don't be
folks
so
at
sure
home.
of yourself.
I'm gonna be I'm gonna tease a little bit. Back in November of last year, I want to say, there was an announcement related to a certain High Republic character by the name of, where do I have it?
Stellan Gios.
Stellan Gios.
Stellan Gios. Okay.
And there was a box, a collector's box limited to 5,000. And Stellan Gios was and is my favorite character in all of the High Republic. My children think I am him. I am working on a cosplay of the character.
Ooh, very nice.
And the primary reason I'm working on the cosplay of that character is, of course,
Yes.
his lightsaber is sitting here with me right now. I'm going to cover the noisemaker as I turn this on. Um,
Easily one of the most recognizable lightsabers in all of Star Wars, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm not gonna do it, but the cross guards come out so you can fold these up.
Yep.
And this did just go available as just the hilt over at our friends at Disney. So if you're looking for the official cross guard, you can pick that up yourself as well now. So that's what I have.
That's
and
awesome.
It looks amazing.
I know you have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And I'm definitely a saber guy too. Like
Yes, you are.
that is a hell of a collector's piece. Like, as somebody who collects sabers, that right there is like one of those ones that's considered in my book is like a grail piece for lightsaber collectors.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those
I was
items
going to
that's
get a
like, there's-
3D printed one, and then they announced this thing. I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm buying this.
It's like
Well, I think you made the right choice.
sometimes you just got to spare no expense, as the great John Hammond would say.
Yes, I had the most anxiety I've ever had in my life waiting in the lobby trying to figure out if my computer was going to freeze while I was. I think I have like number 2000 something. So
Oh, wow.
I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting.
Props to you, man.
Terrifying.
That's a dope. That's dope collectible though, man. That's like, you do not see a lot of those. That's for damn sure. So, all right, and Ant, I think it's your turn. It sounds like you got a good one. So
I do. So I just
I think I know what it is.
I did end up getting a lot of fun Black Series that we're going to see in the coming weeks for Christmas, which was pretty cool because my wife said she wasn't going to get me any. And then she surprised me with not one, not two, but three, both OSHA and May from Acolyte, which I hadn't
nice.
got yet, which I wanted, and the Holiday Range Trooper, which
Ooh, nice.
figured, check out my page. I took a shot and threw it up there today. He's so cool. I don't actually even have the regular range trooper. He's eluded me.
Neither do I.
But a couple other good ones I'll keep silent for now. The one I'm going to share is one I actually got at well, I didn't get it, but my father-in-law, who accompanied Ari and I to Grand Rapids Comic Con, walked out with a couple extra items and took me by surprise. And he said, "We'll just say they're a Christmas gift." And I said, "All right, well, I will wait till Christmas then to open them because you don't need to go buy me anything else." I'm gonna back up the mic here.
I was gonna say the suspense is killing us, bro. You gotta just rip the Band-Aid.
I saw this for the first time moments ago.
I think I know what it is.
It's,
I knew it. The goat. I think, dude, you're only like
This is
one
the
of
old
like
First Order TIE Fighter.
you're one of only like I think a handful of people I know who have that.
Just for perspective,
That thing's
This
freaking huge.
it's enormous. It is a scale model here.
You keep knocking the crap out of your microphone.
Sorry, guys. This thing is huge.
It's worth it.
But the
No,
very
it's-
first, can you hear me? Right
Yeah,
now?
we hear you.
Okay. The very first shot I did with it, there was some snow on the ground, so I ran outside and I had one of the wings off of it and just did a quick, so I didn't have to set up much like crash scene.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, this one is what I've wanted. I've seen it on. I'm one of those people that sits on Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, hey, maybe I'll see something pop up. And there was one that just popped up and it was selling for, I think he had it out there for like $200. And
They are not cheap.
We were at Comic-Con the last day of the Grand Rapids Comic-Con, and within the last hour of closing, so this guy was probably hoping to move some stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think he had it marked on the box for $120, but
Oh, that's not bad at all.
he said he got a really good deal on it. So
Fair enough.
anyways, Eric, if you watch this ever, probably won't, but if you do, thank you. Not you, Eric, the other Eric who is my father.
I know who you're talking about. So,
All right,
all
you're
right.
up,
Well,
brother.
mine are not nearly as cool. And you guys know I like my bargain
Size
hunting.
matters not, dude.
What's that?
Size matters not.
It's not size, but because they are Black Series, so they are the bigger. Even though I do collect TVC. But no. So mine, I've just gotten a couple of really good deals recently, and like I had to show these off. So first, it's two of them. I'll do them quick. First one is the Rebel Commando.
That's fantastic. Did you get
Yes.
that at Ross?
Yep, got it, Ross. Which if you can
Nice,
see
dude.
the sticker, I don't know how clear it is. Got it for only $7.99, which is an absolute steal. I'm so happy I did not pull the trigger on this when he was going for like close to like $30 or something like that.
Yeah,
Because
I think Matt pulled that trigger like 3 times.
I think he did. This is one that I actually plan on busting open to use for action or for photos and stuff like that too. Because I got a couple of troopers open and everything, so I definitely can make some really cool scenes out of this one. Cause,
Did you grab multiple?
I didn't know. So I'm just trying to be a little budget a little bit because of Christmas and everything like that. But
Yeah.
if there's some more there next time I go back, I might grab like one or two more and make
That's
a
an
couple of really
awesome
cool
figure.
scenes.
And that one has the faces, right?
Yes, it does. It's got the multiple phase.
Yeah.
But yeah, super stoked to mess around with this one and bust it open and take a couple of photos with that. But this one, which is going to stay in the box, and once again was another deal. Thanks to our friends at Star Wars Toy Collector, managed to find
Did you
this
get it?
one.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
The
Did you get that for
Mandalorian.
$16?
I think I got it for like 18 or something like that. It's the Mandalorian Shriek trainers, which just look freaking amazing. Like this is my
are.
third multi-pack now. I have not gotten these things. I have not really pulled the trigger on these yet just because they were so expensive. But given that these things
Just hold out.
yeah, like honestly, we had gotten so many good deals on these things recently that I was just like, I can't pass this up. Like $18 for two of those. I was like, are you freaking
I
kidding me?
think I saw the Enoch Night Trooper 2-pack on the Star Wars Toy Collector page as low as like freaking $8 over the
Dude,
holidays.
some of them were going stupid though. Like there
for the
was
2-pack.
yeah, like even some of the singles like were like $5 or something like that, and
Yeah.
which and I think they've all jumped back up in price now, or at least a lot of them have.
One of the only ones that probably hasn't is Saw Gerrera. Is he has been I think $6.99 on Amazon for the last forever.
So this is so these were from
And that's a
Walmart.
great figure.
These were all from Walmart, and they had some crazy. The only one I had saw today that's still at like a crazy low price was the Mercenary Balin Skull, which I was surprised that one's still low, to tell
Yeah.
you the truth.
Is that the newer one?
Yeah, the one with the cloth cape. So
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, I almost got that one, but couldn't bear to spend the $6 on shipping instead, making it a $16 purchase instead of a $10 purchase. I'm like, I can't
Yeah,
do it.
but you
It's not worth it.
think to yourself though
Well,
that
so
figure
here's-
does retail at $25. So really, you're still
I
paying
know.
$10 less.
well, so
than
here's
I would
the
have been
trick,
spending
right?
six for shipping either way.
Well, so here's the trick, right? If you're gonna go buy something at Walmart and you know you're gonna buy it, go put in a pickup order. Put this on the order because then it will ship for free.
Oh, that
Yep.
is helpful.
Yes, because I did that with all these.
Nice, dude. And did you get? Can I ask about another one? I think you got that I don't know you got.
Okay.
Is it the droid?
Oh yeah, I got R4. So
R4.
I went,
Yes.
dude, I went a little hard this month. So I got the Ahsoka 2-pack with the Enoch and the Night Trooper. I got R4. I got the Night Owl, which went as low as like $7, I think. I got the Shriek trainers, and I think that's all the ones I got from Walmart. Like I definitely went a little hard on Black Series this month, but I think how much I spent was like realistically about what I would typically spend on like one or two of them.
And really, yeah, exactly. It's not how much you spend; it's how much you save in this situation.
A lot of freaking money is how much I saved. I can tell you
Honestly,
that
it's more
much.
expensive not to buy them.
Yeah, no, it's well, I tell you right now, I definitely got some great deals on these. And once again, shout out to our boys at the Star Wars Toy Collectors, because that is the reason why we got these amazing deals. So,
Not to mention, if you don't follow them, you really should, because they're awesome dudes, and they have been doing giveaways all month long. So
oh my God,
crazy
yes,
awesome giveaways.
absolutely,
Definitely follow them and use their links to get great deals.
absolutely, man. So, but guys, that kind of wraps up today's show. So once again, to everybody listening and watching right now, we just want to take a quick moment and say thank you guys for hanging out with us today and breaking down Skeleton Crew and checking out some of our collectibles. We would appreciate if you guys go check us out on Instagram or TikTok. You can find our link tree on our Instagram, which has all of our links. Look it up. Sith Happens _ Star Wars podcast on Instagram, and you can find everything right there. And Ari, I always reserve the first sign off for our guests so that you can tell us where people can find you.
I am Ari, and you can find me at Ari's Lego Legends and More on Instagram for really fun Star Wars, Marvel, and whatever else I'm thinking about at the moment content.
Awesome, man.
That's a
And once
fantastic
we
content.
really appreciate you joining us today, man. It's been really fun having you on, and we definitely
Thanks
want
for
to have
having
you
me.
back on.
Unlimited content.
You need to make that a freak out of a out of an action figure photo
Yes.
now.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. And then have them just shooting like all the different content. Sorry, that's getting intricate.
That's a serious what if right there.
Yeah. But
We've got one of those coming soon.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll have it coming. But no, it was a great chatting with you about this. I'm pumped for next Tuesday, and we will see everyone next. We'll be on next.
I think we'll do Wednesday,
end
New
of the
Year's
week.
Day, because we're gonna wait
So-
for Matt to get back.
Yes, we have to have our boy Matty Ice back from getting his tan on. So we'll see you then, and I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful Happy New Year.
Yes, and for me, the Dadalorian, thank you guys for joining us today. This is the way.